What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I've last uploaded. It's like almost been what, a year, 10 months, something around there. I'll explain that a little bit more. A lot has happened in the past year or so. I will explain it in different videos some other time, probably very soon. But for today, we're doing a bag update for 2021. It's March at the time of this recording, so it's starting to get really nice out in Wisconsin. All the snow is gone for now, hopefully. But for now, I made a post back in January for my bag layout for the 2021 season, so I'm going to update it. I made some changes to it, some substantial, some minor, whether it's just different discs for the same selection, or overall just a complete overhaul in a certain disc type. So we're going to do a little bit of a bag tour, an official bag tour for 2021. So to start off, I have, well, it's not really a bag, but it's a cart. I have the Zuka Transit cart. It can hold up to 25 discs in the main pouch. So I got all my discs lined up in here. I'll get to those in a little bit. I have a bunch of stickers on here. They're all disc golf related except for Packers, Go Pack Go. But anyways, I have a Ridge Roller Customs putter caddy. So I can keep all my putters in here without having any hassle in here. So I carry all my putting putters and one throwing putter in here at all times. More stickers on here. A Discmania Flight Tech Towel. Just got that not too long ago, so it's pretty new. Just put it on the cart the other day. That's it for the cart itself. Now let's go in the side pouches. Carry two minis on me at all times. Right now this is orange and blue iFling plastic ones. Got these from my good buddy John Roundhouse Lutzo. He runs iFling Plastic out of Watertown. Great guy. So I always represent him whenever I can. And right now it's with the minis. So I have these along at all times. Always got to have one to play with and one spare one, you know, just in case somebody might need one. I have these disc dice. So anytime you're going out for like a casual round or anything like that, if you're trying to practice stuff, they're these little dice. It was actually originally a Kickstarter. They're small like this. And they have different shot selections on one and different disc selections on the other. So I have yet to use these, but I've watched people play it, like Big Germ and Nate Sexton play with these. It looks a lot like fun. So I decided to get one for myself and my buddy David. Shout out to you, buddy. One for his birthday, one for myself as well. So I'm hoping to use these down the road in the future. So disc dice, go get yourself a pair. Couple pins. I got a Slow Mess pin here. I have a Discmania. You can't see it, but I have a Discmania mystery box pin on this side. On this end, I have a Wings Disc Golf bat sack. It's kind of equivalent to a whale sack. This one's just to dry my hands. It doesn't have any chalk or anything in it. So this one I can just use to dry my hands whenever it gets slick out. If it runs through like a body of water or a muddy stretch of grass. So I've got that. And I've also got this Disc Golf Experience kneeling pad. If you need to stretch out and you don't quite have the angle to get out to get out on next to a tree, just kneel down on this instead of kneeling down on your disc. It's quite the helpful tool. So if you can ever find one of these, go check one out. They help a lot. Alright, so that's everything in my cart. So let's get into discs. So we're going to start with the putters. Quick note before I jump in. I did note that I was going to be switching to a mainly Discmania bag throughout for this season. That still holds true. There are some exceptions that you'll see in a little bit. But for now, it's going to be mainly Discmania with a few exceptions. So we're going to start out with throwing putters. I've got 3 of them. And I carry 2 stiff P-line P2s at the moment. I have this white on the white stamp one, just stock stamp P2. It's very lightweight. It's 168 grams. Good for pushing putts, for jump putts, anything of that nature. Great feel to it. And be able to push this one. Good for turbos as well. That's what I like to practice these. That's my signature putt, I'd say, is a turbo putt. And this is just my go-to putter. Do it for the slow mez. Another stiff P line one. Great feel in the hand. Not much more I can say about it as far as P2 goes. Just a great, reliable putter. And then, new to the bag right now, I just got this and they just released, is an EV7 Penrose. It's an overstable putter. I got it in the OG medium plastic, and it's very, very grippy, very rubbery. It's very similar to a P2 with a little bit more glide. I think it says the flight numbers are 2402. So it's a little bit glidier, but still about the same. It's got a very minuscule bead on it. Can't really see it, but it's got the smallest bead. Super comfortable. I'm actually really digging this. I putted with this for a lot the past few days. It still probably make its way into my bag and probably push a P2 or two out once I start ordering more of these. But definitely, if you're looking for a good disc golf putter, EV7 Penrose. Definitely check it out. Now we're going to get into some throwing putters. Just for the record, I won't throw any of those ones I just mentioned. But now we're getting into the throwing putters. This one's an S-Line P3X. Probably my straighter of the ones I carry for throwing putters. It's got the Hulk Hogan Huckett stamp, made by Huckett Dies. I saw this on Etsy actually, and I wanted to get this done. I'm a huge professional wrestling fan, WWE, AEW, whatever. So I wanted to get a Hulk Hogan one on there, and it says, "Did I hear Chain's brother?" in the Hulk Hogan font. Had to be yellow and red. It had to be. Otherwise, it wouldn't make any sense to me. But either way, P3X, solid throwing putter. I can really get this throw very straight and with a little bit of torque. Otherwise, it's good for forehands. Just super reliable for me. Next up, it goes into the bag. One of the only non-Discmania things I carry, there's going to be 3 of them, but I have 2 Enigma pigs. The first one I'll talk about is this Art Pro plastic. It's super beat up. It doesn't even fly like a pig anymore. I've had this since I started playing, which would be 2 years this year. Very reliable, very straight now. It does still have a little bit of overstable bite at the end, but it's got a puddle top on it. It's kind of warped, but it flies super straight, super controllable. Great feel in the hand for forehands. So I love this thing to death. It's in my bag almost every time now. I've had a couple throw-ins with this. I absolutely love this thing. It's more of a good luck charm. It does get used often, but not as often as you might think. So I do like using this one. It's going to stay in my bag, whether it's going to get thrown or as a good luck charm. The other one I got right now is this Ricky Wysocki Tour Series pig. A little bit more overstable than Art Pro. It's in the Pro plastic, so it's gonna be a little bit more firmer. I think it's a little bit slicker, to be quite honest. I think the Art Pro is a little bit more tackier, but still great feel. I think better for forehands. Gives a great overstability and overstable flight into it. So I'm just gonna keep rolling with this one for now. And then we're getting into mid-ranges. This one I really did overhaul on because I had a lot of different molds. So I decided to keep it to a minimum of either very similar molds with a couple exceptions. So one of the 2 exceptions that I have is this S-Line MD2. Straighter for lower power shots. Don't want to really rip on this one very much. It's max weight. Great feel to it. Really love it. Really love the comfortability in my hands, especially with controlled grip like this. Yeah, this is just for straight up shots from probably about 100 feet. You just want to get it up nice and straight. Nothing too crazy with it. So this is the one exception I have in the bag. Otherwise, what I'm about to show you next, they're all going to be very similar. So I carry 3 of these. They are C-line MD4s. So I'll start with this one since I already have it in my hands. This is just a stock run. I don't know what run it is, but this is the one I haven't used the most. This is overstable compared to the other ones that I'll talk about in a minute. I like using this one for forehand approaches inside 150 feet. Just let it flip up, fly straight. Does turn a little bit, but not a lot. Backhand wise, this is my driving mid-range for sure. I can control these things. If you're an Enigma person, this is very comparable to a Rock 3, which I loved, but I think I like this even more. I just love the feel in the hand. Great forehand grip. In the C-line plastic, it's pretty slick, but it comes out a little bit easier than, say, your typical, if it was in any other plastic. The other one I got right now in the bag. So next up of my MD4s I got is the C-line one with, it's pink, the Discmania bot on it. I'd say between 3. This is the most stable. Primary use backhand. Not much else to say about the MD4 that I haven't said already, other than this is the most stable one. And then lastly of my MD4s I got is this C-line Crescent Falcon 2. I got this from my friend David. It's pretty used already. As you can see, it's pretty worn, but it's a little bit on the flippy side, but it's perfect. It's just what I needed for an MD4. I'm gonna be able to throw it up like this, flip up. It's gonna flip over just a tiny bit, but it's not gonna do much more than that. So this is a great find for me. Thank you, David, for getting me this. And then next up, something similar but not too similar, is a Evolution line method. I carry 3. I've got 2 in the Exo Hard plastic. So this first one with the black stamp, it's 177 grams. This is pretty beat in around the rim, so it's going to be pretty flippy, but it's still controllable. I like using this for forehands here and there, but otherwise this is mainly for backhand turnovers, anything of that nature. Great control disc. Methods are super glidey, very similar to MD4, just a touch more glide. Exo Hard, once again, the gold stamp, a little bit heavier. Same feel, not quite as beaten in, just a little dirty right now. I don't know if you can see, but similar idea. This one is going to be a little bit more stable. Then I have this pink one. It's in the Neo plastic, so it's a little bit more premium plastic, max weight, more stable, maybe slightly more overstable, but a better thrower. I like using this from primary backhand shots, but otherwise, this is a really fun disc. Probably between the MD4 and this are my 2 favorite mid-ranges that Discmania offers. And then lastly, we have one lone C-line MD5. This is more of a forehand approach disc, or even just a backhand hyzer disc for shorter distances. Not one to rip on, but just a nice consistent fade. If you can hear closely, it has a little bit of heartbeat to it, so it's pretty domey, pretty overstable in that regards. But this is just more of like a utility disc at this point. I love using it whenever I can for certain shots, but it doesn't get used as often as it should. Now we're moving into fairway drivers. Right now I have, for my stable one, is a C-line FD. It's an X-out stamp with the Pikachu on it. So Pika's pretty stable. It has a nice dome on it, actually. I really like that about it. Got a little bit of a heartbeat to it as well, if you can hear that. It's a great feel to it. I can get this to fly basically how I want it most of the time. More stable than I thought it when I first threw it, but otherwise this is a solid addition to the bag that I've been looking for. We're moving into a little bit faster discs. We're going with the S-Line CD2, very comparable to an Undertaker or a Savant if you're from either Discred or Enigma. Good feel all the way around. I've really been beating this one in, so it's pretty flippy at this point. But it's still, I can get this to flip up, fly very straight. Maybe turn just a slight bit, being a lefty thrower. But otherwise, it's not a bad disc to have if you're looking for that faster, more stable fairway driver. So, Hessline CE2. Go find them. And then next up, I carry two of these. I carry two FD3s. First one is this Color Glow with the Discmaniac on it. Very overstable, very pop-toppy, but it flies very, very straight. It flies very, very much like an FD3 normally should. Very, like I said, very overstable. This is more of a forehand play for me. I love throwing this disc. I can get this to flex very good. Very, very good hyzer disc. Almost aced with this a couple days ago at Watertown. So this is one I keep in my bag at all times whenever I can. And then we're going more stable. We have Animus Doombird 2. I love this disc a lot. I really love this one. It's been beaten in pretty good already. So it flies very similar to a Thunderbird now. It flies very, very similar. Very straight. It gets actually a very decent amount of glide, but it's pretty flat. Primary use is backhand. I don't really forehand with this very much. I do love to punch this one on shorter holes like 250, 300 feet if I need to, just for super straight, reliable shots of this. And then probably one of the biggest oddballs you'll see, or even curveball, we've got the Simon Lizotte tilt. Well, this is not some kind of niche pick. It's not some kind of joke. This is one of my utility drivers. I would literally love using this for utility shots. Some people think this is stupid, including myself, but it's stupid fun. Board flat, if you don't know what a tilt is the most overstable disc PDGA approved ever. Flight rating's 9116. You can throw it any sort of way. Like, you can throw it on an angle. For me, being lefty, I can throw it like this, and it's just going to go flip up and then drop down. I can throw it on a big hyzer like this, and it's just going to hold that line, drop straight down like you would with a grenade. This thing is absolutely hysterical. Even if you throw it upside down, it flies similar to an FD3 or Firebird, if you can throw it just right. I mean, for hell, Eagle did it at Las Vegas Challenge this year, and it worked perfectly for him. But tilt is going to be one of my more utility drivers that I need. And then another non-Discmania member is this Infinite Aztec. It's in the G blend, so it's pretty gummy. This is one of my first main distance drivers that I was using. So it's been pretty beaten in. Probably, if I had to give it a life rating on it out of 10, it's probably sitting at about 6.5. In my opinion, it's got ink on the rim and everything, but it's super flippy. I love using this for primarily rollers. So that's really all I'll get to use for this. Otherwise, if I try to flip it up like this, it's just gonna flip right over on me, even if I put it on a decent hyzer angle. So this one is just primarily roller use only. And then we're getting faster here. I have a Lone Howl 2 PD, Colt Montgomery Signature Series, very flat, actually kind of bendy a little bit. I've had some firmer ones, but this is more of a nice, consistent, overstable driver for me. Primarily like a backhand hyzer, and maybe slight turnover into a flex line. But otherwise, that primary shot is to go with a big either backhand or forehand hyzer line, and just power something into a short cap. And then the last of the non-Discmania discs that I own in this bag is this. I'm trying something new. This is a Thought Space Athletics Animus. I think this is a Ethereoplastic. I'm not too familiar with Thought Space, but I love the feel of this. Probably one of the best feeling discs I've ever owned, to be quite honest. Good flight. Numbers are comparable to that of a Wraith from Enigma. Um, that's what I really like. My arm speed is not quite that fast. So this is probably going to work its way up to be one of my more favorite discs in the bag if I decide to keep it in there. So we're giving it a trial run. I've had a couple of practice throws with this. I'm digging it. But for now, we're going to give it a run this weekend at Rolling Ridge. Hopefully I can do some work with this. And then we've got 2 Enigmas in the bag in the neoplastic. First up is this heavier one, red with silver. Very, very stable. Maybe this one's slightly overstable, I'd say. Like I said, it's a heavier one of the 2 that I own in the bag. Definitely straighter shots, flip up, and even turnovers are perfect. Not a lot of forehands with this, but I'd say it could be used for forehands in some capacity, but mostly these 2 are going to be used for just straighter drives. This gray one, the Smoky Marble, this one's a little bit lighter. Probably one I'm going to be using for more flip up to flats and just let it fly straight. Probably powerful off the tee. But otherwise, Enigmas are fun. I've been looking at getting more and more because they're becoming a more and more reliable driver for me. And then we've got a couple of DD3s, S-Line DD3s. First up, I have this beat-in first run Cloudbreaker 1. I shouldn't say first run, but it's the first edition of the Cloudbreaker. It's right in the middle in weight. It's like 172. Very stable. It looks really beat up, as you can see, but it's only just the stamp wear. There's no gouges on the rims or scratches or anything. It's just stamp wear and it's super stable. I tend to prefer to have more DD3s in the bag, but I'm trying out the Animus, so it's taking a spot. But I picked out the best DD3s that I can always, and this Cloudbreaker is definitely one of the best ones that I've ever owned. Very consistent, very reliable. I just got to keep working with this and make sure that this is going to stay in the bag for a very long time. And then this other one I just picked up the other day from my friend David. It was brand new when I got it. Max weight. It's a blue stamp, green disc. Very, very straight flyer. It's even got a little bit of a bubbles in the rim, but this thing flies dead straight. Primary use would probably be backhand, just straight power backhands or even forehands. Perfect disc for me. I think this is the best non-Cloudbreaker run that I own, in my opinion. This is probably the best DD3 outside of that gray Cloudbreaker I own. And then the last set of discs we have are 2 PD2s. Most overstable driver, not a tilt that I own. So this first one is a C-Line Crush Boys edition, lighter weight. You can see the bubbles in the rim. It's not too much lighter, but this is more of that power backhand shot only. Maybe some flex lines. Can use some big spike hyzer lines with this. So this is my primary power PD2. And then I have this orange Skyrider, last but not least. Max weight. It's a little bit beat in, so this is going to fly a little bit straighter, but probably Skyrider is my favorite run of PD2s that I've owned. I have a couple different runs, but this has got to be by far my favorite. Great feel in the S-Line plastic. Got a little bit of a dome to it and a little bit pop-toppy. Great feel for forehands, but overall, this is one of my most trusted discs that I own. And that's going to be it, guys. That's all my discs that I have in my bag so far. So I'm glad you stopped by. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. And if you have any suggestions, let me know down in the comments. I'll be looking, and if I see a suggestion I can do, I'll be happy to do, and I'll shout you out as well. So, like I mentioned in the beginning, I will explain what's happened in the past year in my life, just so I can catch you up to speed in the future video. But for now, I'm going to be signing off. We'll catch you in the next video. So, until next time, Have a good day. Have a good week, wherever you may be in the world. Peace out. Be safe.